Shalom. Today I will be discussing yoga and its occult background. Many people, including many Christians, think that yoga is nothing but a harmless form of stretching and exercise. It is anything but that. Sadly, even professing Christians have bought into this lie. Every yoga teacher is in effect a Hindu or Buddhist missionary, even though he or she may wear a cross, insist that Yahushua is Lord, and protest that yoga is not a religion but science. This is the most blatant of lies. Yet it has been so widely proclaimed and believed that in America's public schools, beginning in kindergarten, and in almost every other area of society today, yoga and other forms of Hindu Buddhist occultism are taught and accepted as science. In contrast, Christianity has been thrown out of the schools and is being crowded out of every other area of life in Satan's attempt to mix religion with New Age science. Some Christians integrate yoga and other aspects of Eastern spirituality with prayer and meditation. This has been attributed to a desire to experience God in a more complete and profound way. This is utter foolishness. You cannot mix Eastern occult spiritualism, which glorifies Satan, while you attempt to glorify Yah simultaneously. This is like mixing water and electricity. You cannot bow down to two masters. Choose this day whom you will serve. Yoga is from the Sanskrit word yug, meaning union, with the divine or higher self. Yoga is a path for transcending the ordinary mind in order to merge with your higher self or God self. Yoga means to yoke with Brahman, the universal spirit, the impersonal force that the Hindus call God, via the realization of an altered state of consciousness, thereby theoretically releasing oneself from the bondage of endless reincarnation. Yoga comes from the Hindu Vedas. It can be traced back to Patanjali, who was a religious leader. Shiva, one of Hinduism's three most powerful gods, was known as the Destroyer. He's called Yogeshwara, or the Lord of Yoga. Yoga is clearly a New Age concept that is deeply religious and pantheistic in its origin. It is widely practiced and supported by New Age proponents. The New Age movement denies the reality of sin and total depravity and believes that man is generally good and is divine. They teach that there is a God within us, and we are to harness that and develop it through meditation and other metaphysical techniques. They teach that the only thing people need is enlightenment regarding their divinity. They believe that through reincarnation, man is reunited with God. They believe in karma, which is a debt one owes because of his previous life. They also believe and teach the evolution of man as opposed to the creation that is taught in the Bible. Yoga is also associated with imagery, visualization, hypnosis, mind magic, chanting of mantras, and silva mind techniques, which are not only unbiblical but are completely satanic and spiritually dangerous. When practiced by professing believers, it allows an external demonic spiritual influence in our lives, which is inconsistent with and disallowed in the teachings of the Holy Scriptures. Yoga calls itself science. By calling itself science, yoga, which is the very heart of Hinduism, has within the last 30 years become an integral part of Western society, where it is taught in nearly every YMCA, in clubs, in public schools, in industries, and even in many churches. Dressed in Western clothing, yoga has gained acceptance in medicine, psychology, education, and religion under such euphemisms as centering, relaxation therapy, self-hypnosis, and creative visualization. Yoga is designed to lead to the realization of one's true godhood through an inward meditative journey that finally locates the ultimate source of everything within the human psyche. The goal of yoga is self-realization, to look deeply within what ought to be the temple of the one true God, and there to discover the alleged true self or higher self, and declare self to be God. Nothing could be more religious than that. Yet with straight faces, all of the yogis insist that practicing yoga will not change anyone's religious beliefs. This is the religion of Antichrist, and for the first time in history, it is being widely practiced throughout the Western world as transcendental meditation and other forms of yoga. Yoga is meant to awaken the Kundalini spirit within each practitioner, yoking them or making them one with Brahman. The Kundalini spirit is said to be a snake that is coiled around the base of the spine, and when it is awakened through yoga stretches, it is supposed to travel up the spine to the brain and awaken the third eye or the pineal gland of the individual. The Kundalini spirit is actually a demon, which can be obvious through its snake form. The third eye is an occult term which is often used by Eastern spiritualists to open the physical eyes into the spiritual world. I have known more than a few people who were once involved in the occult who have claimed to open this third eye and have since been tormented by seeing demons manifest physically. The Kundalini spirit is also meant to awaken the chakras of the individual. Chakras are various spiritual pressure points said to be located around different meeting points of the body, points where our spiritual energy flows through. These chakras are said to be naturally blocked at birth and must be opened or awakened through transcendental yoga. Once awakened, the chakras allow great insight and vision into the spiritual world, leading to the most important facet of Hinduism and Buddhism, total enlightenment or godhood. If someone's interested in physical exercise that is designed to help one's body, he should not take yoga, which is designed for death, and teaches how to reach the state of consciousness where one gets a better reincarnation in the next life. Even the physical positions in yoga come right out of the Hindu scriptures, and are designed to put one into the state of consciousness where you believe and visualize that you're God. Therefore, Christians who think they're getting relaxation and exercise are really getting Hinduism. They think they're getting science, but they're getting religion. It's purposely mislabeled and it's very spiritually dangerous. The deep breathing techniques, such as the ones taught in yoga, are a time-honored method for entering altered states of consciousness and for developing so-called psychic power. Any altered state of consciousness, whether induced by yoga, hypnosis, drugs, or anything else, is the hinge on Hell's Gate and will open you up to tons of unnecessary spiritual warfare. It is very important to take care of your temple, as even scripture tells us that physical training is of some value. However, if a Christian wants to keep in shape, just stick with regular stretching, weight training, and cardio exercises. Beware of any workouts that attempt to employ anything other than basic exercise. As soon as exercise mixes with spirituality, such as many forms of martial arts that employ harnessing your body's energy, also called chi, it immediately becomes demonic and dangerous. It's good to stay in shape physically, but it's much more important to stay in shape spiritually. Keep it simple, and most importantly, keep it spiritually safe.